Yeah.
Once again, I'm here coming at you with another multiverse video.
Welcome back, everybody, to Into the Verse, episode number 4. It is time to talk about the Powerpuff Girls.
We are so excited. We're your hosts, Ajax and Ryan Ross, live from WB San Diego. We're so excited to tell you guys about Season 3. We've got Sugar, we got Spice, we got a whole lot of things nice, and some girl power to show off this episode, which we're very excited about.
Yeah, one of the most unique characters we've added to the game, as a lot of you seen, is a 301 character. So you will be playing all of them at the same time, despite some people going at it a little bit, deciding which one of them is the best, which we'll talk about a little bit more later.
But that's not all we have to talk about.
Sure enough, we have a whole lot to share, including some things to share with you.
Exactly. For example, we once again have Twitch drops coming to you this season. We're very excited about that. Those will start tomorrow with the patch.
Need the Gleamium tomorrow, for sure.
We've got a Beckon sticker, 100 Gleamium, and a Blossom profile pic that will all be earnable for you guys watching any of your favorite streamers on Twitch, which is super exciting. Always excited to bring drops to the table and celebrate you guys and the community for supporting the game. And we also make sure you are dropping your questions in Discord and on Twitch. We are going to be pulling those questions to answer at the end of the stream as well. Make sure that we get some of your burning questions in.
Yes, of course, we have a quick breakdown as well coming in from the one and only The Cat as well. That will be happening a little bit. But before we do that, for anybody who may have not seen it, we did have to call in some heroes. So let's take a look at the gameplay trailer for the Powerpuff Girls.
Today, I am here to talk about the Powerpuff Girls joining the Multiversus roster. They are the newest addition to Multiversus, and it's not one, not two, but all three of them together as one character. But that doesn't mean that they don't have properties that are unique to themselves. With the Powerpuff Girls passive ability Sister Act, the Powerpuff Girls can swap between each other using Down Special. Different leaders apply unique attributes to the trio. Bubbles is fast, but her hits have less knockback.
Oh, she's
Buttercup is slower, but her hits have more knockback. And Blossom is balanced between the two of them.
I know they said that
also change the properties
she was faster in a little moveset video, but I didn't know she was that fast. Shorty's smooth.
Significant dedicated purpose for using that girl. So now getting into the Powerpuff Girls normal attacks. The first grounded normal attack we're going to talk about is the Powerpuff Girls dash attack, which actually has the ability to ring out opponents off of the top. It is a great vertical sending move, and you are able to combo off of this move depending on the opponent's damage. The next move that I'd like to talk about is the Powerpuff Girls side attack. Side attack is a 3-hit combo that controls a lot of space and goes pretty far. What I mean by this is, if I use the first one, I am able to connect, right? You see how she kind of lunges forward. However, on the second one, I don't always have to try to land the first one. I can space myself in a way where I hit with the second
kind of like
move, which then will allow me to still finish into the third hit of the move. Or if I just want to maximize spacing as much as possible, I can hit with the final move as well. Again, this move is very fast. They lunge forward, so it has a lot of range, and it will just strictly knock the opponent back. But you can combo into other options with this move traditionally, like other side attacks in the game as well. So you want to be able to use it in that regard too. Powerpuff Girls grounded neutral attack allows them to slide on the floor towards an opponent. This not only allows them to duck under certain things, but it is a move that is strong, and depending on which girl you are, will determine how strong the move is. Of course, with Blossom, she has a good balance between both strength and speed. Therefore, you're going to hit the move and you're going to send the opponent flying a bit. Bubbles is a bit weaker, so you're going to notice that the opponent doesn't fly as high when getting hit by this move, and Buttercup sends the opponent the furthest. The Powerpuff Girls down attack is a good combo starting move that knocks the opponent towards you. It's very fast and will have a lot of use at the ledge when your opponent is trying to come up, or if your opponent has a tendency to roll a lot on the ground, this will be a good move to cover that option.
Yeah, I was going to say to that, it goes left and right, it'll cover both directions fairly well,
the opponent,
unless they like have a Rick or Morty level fucking roll, which is kind of crazy.
Them vertically again if you want upon landing this move, or you can actually use your forward air or anything that will send them horizontally as well. The Powerpuff Girls grounded up attack is actually pretty cool. They are able to turn into a grounded tornado, vacuuming the opponent and sending them upward. The awesome thing about this move is not only does it have a lot of range, but it also has the ability to ring out on the top blast zone. And if I was Buttercup in this situation, I would have a much easier time landing that ring out, which of course adds to just how cool it is to be able to have different unique buffs depending on which girl you are controlling at that time. Use this move as a great anti-air tool or even as an approach tool, as you can actually combo into it with a jab. Getting into the Powerpuff Girls grounded special attacks. Neutral special on the ground allows the Powerpuff Girls to each use a unique ability that has
that fucking laser
potential
from
to
her,
either ring out her
was
opponent
stupid.
or of course be comboed into. So
Does
depending on
Blossom
which one you do,
Ice Breath not
will
do freeze
have
damage?
pretty much a
Don't seem
use
like it.
that is unique to each girl. The next move I like to talk about is side special on the ground. Side special on the ground has the ability to send out a girl to grab an opponent and actually throw them. If I'm controlling Blossom, Buttercup will be thrown and throw the opponent down. I am able to actually combo off of this because of the ground bounce, and if I want to use this at the ledge, I can throw the opponent downward under the stage to try to set up for an edge guard. If I'm controlling Bubbles and I throw Blossom, Blossom will throw the opponent back towards the girls so that they can combo off of it. And if I am
You could probably hit
controlling
neutral air
Buttercup and I
there
throw
if you're using bubbles.
I'm actually able to throw the opponent upward and either ring out off of this, or I can actually just apply more damage depending on how far they go when I throw them, which varies depending on, of course, the opponent's damage percentage. So you want to use this to not only pressure opponents in neutral, but of course to combo off of it as well and set up for ring outs. Something cool is that if you hold this move, the girl will go further. So this is what it looks like if I tap.
I don't think they said that in the,
This is what it looks like
in the moveset video.
Much different.
If they did say it was
And if you
chargeable,
want to
I
learn
didn't
even more
notice that.
moves that the Powerpuff Girls have to offer, be sure to check out the official Multiversus YouTube channel and of course drop a subscription. We will be uploading the rest of this breakdown to the official YouTube channel for you all to watch right after this episode of Into the Verse. So thank you so much for watching.
I'll
This
probably
has
make
been
a
the
separate
Cat,
video
your
on
community
that.
manager. Again, please sure to check out the rest of this video if you want to see the full moveset and breakdown of the Powerpuff Girls. This is the Cat, throwing it back to the studio. Take it easy.
Easy to use, as a lot of people have seen. With the 3-in-1, I've seen a lot of comments wondering, like, man, it looks like they're going to be super hard to use. But actually, the way to combo and string together is actually very straightforward.
Whoa, hold on, wait a minute.
You might notice something different on the training mode here, too.
I was about to say.
We are currently doing some review and additions to the lab. We have
They said this in the last Into the Verse.
to the lab as well. And there will be more stuff coming in the near future, so super excited to be able to share all that.
Okay.
But that combo counter is going to
They showing hit stun, they showing combo damage.
Things they could
Actually, hit stun combo, total damage, hit stun combo, and total damage at the bottom on the right side. I'm assuming it's for each character.
You're gonna hear Mojo pretty often, as he likes to speak every time I reset. Your down attack pulls people in. It allows you to follow up and get easy combo starters into your nair or up special, things like that. Your jabs are also great because you could use that low percent to string.
You can cancel out the jab into the down. Wait, that's not down special. It's down attack.
Something unique that we have never done before. Their signature perk, called Rainbow Dash, will actually allow you to input a dash attack in the air. We have never.
Wait, what?
So what you get to do is do stuff like nair, buffer into dash attack.
Nico, what?
The dash attack on the ground also usually only follows the floor. This one sends straight up. But if you hold up, you can actually go into the air to be able to chase after
What the
someone
fuck
instead.
are you doing?
Since will let you follow up too. So a big key factor.
Yo,
which
that's
we're going
sick.
into
You
a
use
lot
dash
here
attack
is
in the air.
combo expression,
That should be a perk,
very
low key,
easy
that
use,
they should give to a
concealing
lot more
players in
characters.
general. We're trying to expand on that a ton this season. So it won't just be, even though jab is a great combo starter, of course, for this character, which you could get easy follow-ups on to line up everything else at higher percents. It's easy to DI out of. But when you go for things such as the grabs, which all of them have different grabs, as you saw from Nakat a little while ago. You have Bubbles will send in towards you, which is easy to follow up on. You have Buttercup, who uses... Get down from there. Buttercup is more of a KO throw, which will have Bubbles send out and send straight up. But there's something super unique about this throw as well.
I just thought about it. Low key, there's Superman before the nerf. Where he could throw you up and down and shit instead of just throwing you to the left.
One
Interesting.
of those things being, of course, desyncs, which you can actually do. So if you decide to use a throw and you dodge during it, you could actually move up further, so you could get a follow-up that you normally wouldn't.
Oh.
Stuff like this, or get down from there. Mojo, talk again. Thank you very much. You go to Buttercup. At higher damage windows, the eye laser is a very strong KO option, but you can't combo into it unless you do this.
So you can dodge
close that gap
to
and
go
closer to
further
grab.
to then
So
go
there's
into
a
a
lot of
move
depth to this
immediately
character.
instead
There's a lot
of
unique ways to play them.
where you would need
You
to
can
wait
also
for the
do
throw
things
to
like
do
approach
something,
and
and
go.
you would now use
gotta
the throw
give
as
him
kind of
respect
like
to shine,
Yeah,
a command
He's a
grab
very
because
talkative
it's gonna
monkey.
stop
So
their
you can
movement
also do
so you can hit them.
things, such as jabs into walking forward while you're using the down special. You can drift forward into combo follow-up. So there's always
Ooh.
ways to follow up into the character.
That was a way to
One thing that
mid
gets
combo
asked commonly
switch.
as well as how do the leaders work. You do always start as Blossom, but when you get knocked out, you will remain the character that you were on. So if
Okay,
you
so
decide
it's
that
not
you want
like-
to switch your playstyle is more leaning towards Bubbles, you will always be Bubbles throughout the match unless you switch. Same thing with Buttercup, same thing with Blossom. Whatever
Okay,
the
so it's
leader
not
is,
like,
every time you get KO, you always remain on that.
What was the bitch from Mortal
And
Kombat
it's
1?
cool that each of them individually kind of lends
Chameleon.
themselves
It's
to
not like
different
Chameleon
parts
where they
of the match.
automatically will
Early
swap
on,
you.
Having Bubbles to kind of get some of that early damage in might be able to let you close those gaps, or depending on how strong of a hit your teammate is versus whether they're more speed oriented, maybe somebody like Blossom will help you kind of get
I didn't
some
think
of
about that.
damage
Yeah,
in. And then you
different
can always
characters for
switch
different
into Buttercup
percents
for the
or
slam dunks,
different
the
points in the
KOs,
game.
any of your roles to go for the kill.
Yeah, there are a lot of different ways that you can approach with this character. There's a lot of fun ways that you can use it. And something that we're very keen on in this patch as well is improving ways to start combos with landing aerials, which we're going into a lot.
There was somebody was
later
talking about that on
as you
Twitter,
can see
saying that's
here.
something they would like
Very
you to do
easy
more.
forward, as I screwed it up entirely, so let's do that one more time. It is a classic.
It's very easy.
I didn't say it before, and I was like, how many combos does Ajax drop today? But you have different ways to be able to land now with different approach tools. It's not just, of course, the nair. You have down air, which is another great way to land as well.
That is
And
something
we
people
wanna
were
make
saying they
sure
wanted
that
more
we're
combos off
adding
stuff in the air.
many different ways as you can to approach. You could use things like the
Because Bugs
IAB,
has it, he can land
side special as
neutral
well.
air into
When you use
combo,
an aerial
obviously.
tackle, they have different directions that they send. So for Buttercup, she always sends down, which will let you follow up on that ground bounce. And in the air, it's a way to be able to get early KOs off the side. So very unique character, a lot of depth to them, a lot of fun to them. Definitely one of the most fun I think that we have ever had putting a character together. And for anybody who's curious, I did see a couple comments about, well, you know, all these newer characters getting all these unique things. Are we ever going to see new stuff come to old characters? Are we going to see reworks come to older characters? Stay tuned for about 20 minutes from now. So
20 minutes?
That's pretty
Say
much
less.
the Powerpuff Girls. There's a lot of unique stuff to them. They're a lot of fun. But that is not the only thing, of course, that we have that we have really put a lot of effort into designing. This one, you have the pillar over here, which also includes a little gremlin kind of hanging for dear life over there. But the pulley system is interesting because when you land on the pulley system, it'll make this one go down, and it'll make the opposite side here go up.
Oh,
So
there's
if you're
two
playing,
on
say,
each side.
2v2s,
Okay.
And you see a teammate who's struggling a little bit, and you're trying to help them reposition a platform to help them out, you can go on one side and either lower it or raise it. Or if you see an opponent who's maybe trying to recover low, and you're on the other side, and you land on it, all of a sudden, they don't have a platform to land on anymore, and they have to deal with somebody who's over here.
Now all they've got is the wall.
Yeah.
A wall and a dream.
A hope at best. This one, of course, you ever wonder what movie they were watching?
It
before?
seems like you can see a couple frames here and there. You might be able to kind of guess.
Oh, no, it just looks like it's
No,
the
it's
Gremlins
just they're in front of the projector.
yeah, they're messing with projector in the background. Now, of course, the Gremlins like they'll have a good show. So whenever you get knocked out, they cheer.
As
That's
they
kind of
should.
funny.
They're having a grand old time. They don't care who wins or loses. They're just there to have a good time.
They
And
just
for
there watching you
anybody's
get ass
curious,
beat.
The pulley system will not actually move when you have the stage hazards off, so they will stay directly in place.
Okay, so they'll be
essentially turn
static
into additional
platforms.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
for the 1v1 version, since this is a very large stage overall, the pulleys are actually gone. It's
Okay,
in a
makes
little
sense
bit
for
more,
once.
So that will only be this section, and then this part right here.
Keep
So-
the fight all on top of each other. No one's going to be able to run off to the platforms for safety.
Yeah, and a lot of focus, of course, will be pretty much around the center here. Now, was talking about the additional perk. The other
Yeah,
perk
there's some of the other
being,
one. Okay, so they only have 2 perks.
an extra ingredient. So, as you, of course, know, the individual girls have different powers. But when you use the extra ingredient, it'll add on the elemental base portion. So you get 4 stacks of
Oh,
Frost
got
from
you.
the
So
special on Blossom, which
because I was wondering, I was like, it's weird that don't do ice.
To run away from those situations. A lot of people will usually panic dodge away from something like that, so that's an easy way to go after them. For Blossom, it'll add a small stun, which will allow you to get
I was wondering, I was like, what's Bubbles gonna do?
The quicker it goes away,
it's gonna be a stun.
Anytime you use stun, so that way people aren't locked in them forever.
Makes sense.
And then for Buttercup,
it's gonna do ignite, I'm assuming.
Hit the opponent, it lights them on fire.
Okay.
And that way you can potentially use that perk to combo with your teammate, depending on if they have freeze mechanics or burn mechanic that you want to stack on top of. You're able to then use that perk to kind of additionally.
Because the dash attack in the air one has like so many combo potentials, but this one gives them more damage buffs or ways of like gimmicking you with ice, with the stun.
Dash a little bit too much, so it allows you to play different play styles that you.
Yeah, it is a very different play style.
That, of course, is our mid-season. Excuse me, our season 3 map. We also have our mid-season map, which some of you have seen in the trailer. Actually, everybody has seen. We played it today.
Guy,
yeah, that is the.
Destroyed Townsville. Yo, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't notice the fucking crater at the bottom of the map before.
Platforms were broken, like the Townsville version of Mojo Jojo. It is our smallest center platform stage. It is 1v1 exclusive. So it is a stage that brings in a little bit more room.
Kind of sucks that there's no 2v2 variant,
really
but
aggressive, fight very often.
It's kind of cool.
And also
but damn, I was about to say, I was watching it in the trailer. I was like, yo, 2v2s on that fucking map would be hell. Because that map is small as fuck.
Their insurance costs have to be astronomical.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard him mention like billions of dollars a few times. He seems to be fine.
Either they've got great taxpayers or the mayor's got some sort of side hustle going on. That's true. That's true.
Okay, rank changes.
Which will include, of course, all 3 of them. If you want to pull that up right there, as everybody saw with the last season, make sure you get those last games in today to get
the gold one's kind of sick.
But you will be able to do the same.
The other 2 are like similar, but they change it up enough.
All of the Powerpuff Girls, and of course, with ranked comes a lot of new information, which I did not.
A lot of changes.
All right, so. Ranked, of course, big topic of discussion. We took in, of course, all the feedback. We listened to what a lot of people were saying, and we paid attention to the way that the rank was going. It was our first season of ranked. We had a lot of learning to do, a lot of things to change. So, for starters, for one, if you were in Diamond or Master, when you go into the next season, if you have any character in Diamond or Master, the first time you play additional character, whatever alternate character you want, you will be bumped up to Silver 5 or Gold 5. So that way you're going right out of the early ranks. You're not
Thank you. Because that was the one annoying thing about the previous one.
Silver,
it told you what rank you were supposed to be, but you didn't go up.
If you are started in Diamond. But if you are trying new characters, it'll help speed up the process. It'll help move people away from the lower ranks, so that way you're playing people more on your level. It'll also help everybody to get those Master 2 runs. Which
those in Masters tend to know at least a decent amount of the core game mechanics. They transfer well to other characters, even if they've got their strong kind of flagship.
Because I at least have one character in Masters.
Again, a lot of it is just being able to allow people to try more characters out, be able to reach Master faster. We've saw a couple people like Tomoto Kuro and Pandolce. Congratulations to both of them getting every single character in 1v1s or 2v2s respectively. That was really cool to see today.
That's cool.
So
but that's
y'all deserve a fun shout out for that. And then for defeating a player of higher tiers than you, you now receive a higher minimum RP gain.
Okay,
before
that was needed.
There was a bit of inconsistency for some people when they would beat someone, say, in Master and they were in Platinum.
Or like Diamond, because like that as you'd get like 8 points at the end of it. It's like, what the fuck?
Someone of the higher skill level, you are getting.
Didn't happen to me all the time. Happened sometimes.
Same thing, of course, on the opposite end. If you are losing to someone of a higher tier that you happen to match with someone who's a little bit higher up, pretty.
You don't lose as much.
There'll be a lower overall RP loss gain.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we changed up the way that the values work, so that way the grind will feel a little bit easier, a little smoother. We wanted to make that process a lot better for everyone as we continue to pay attention to ranked, of course. The values, if we don't believe that they're working enough from what we're seeing, we will go in and tune those in with hot fixes. We're going to be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, because they did change that for stuff like
so it's not just,
XP for ranked.
This is the band-aid. This is the guaranteed answer to what we're doing right now. We will be keeping an active eye on that.
In general, know that we are pretty much constantly reviewing systems, looking at ways to improve, cover pain points, give you guys new ways to keep the game.
Switch to open skill to allow it. So if you are, say, a brand new player, you're joining us for the first time here for season 3, welcome if you are. You will not be paired right away into someone who's been playing, while you're more likely to be paired into someone who's closer to your rank or a newer player. Likewise, if you are someone who, say, took a break for a little bit, you took a break for the season, or you had a couple of the games you want to try out, you're coming back, you're getting ready to grind ranked again.
You took a vacation, work got busy, you know, kids, whatever it may be.
Yeah, and you're worried that your first match you're gonna show up and it's the number 2 ranked overall player, and you're like, oh, wow.
I'm out of practice.
Yeah, that won't be happening. We're also looking at, we also changed the same thing for that. So if you haven't played for a little bit,
because
the first few matches,
I ain't gonna lie, it would kind of suck when you play your first match with a kid, then you got matched up against somebody at Masters. It's like, alright, bro.
To where you should
Fuck
be,
me.
where you'll be playing all the higher skill levels.
A little bit more of a gentle re-entry, if you will.
Yeah, very, very
That's
important. We pay close attention to rank all season, and we want to make sure we make that experience as best as we possibly can.
Anything about
so
Grandmaster?
Really excited about that going to this next season. This has been something we've been wanting to talk about for a little while now. And in an upcoming future patch, we'll also be showing win streaks. So if you see someone who has that 10 win streak and you want to get rid of that,
okay, because I was on the 10 win streak at one point.
That
or
10 win streak as well.
I think it was 10. Might have been a little
You know,
less
you're
than
coming in
that,
with a
but
10-game win
I was
streak,
coming
you
in
might
hot.
just get that little bit of sweat going on your opponent.
Yes, I mean, look, it can be very intense, be very
I'm assuming if they're showing it,
players, but once you get that dub,
you might get something for it.
And,
you know, not saying you will,
we
but I
also,
would think that.
oh yes, we also raised the target MMR overall for Master Rank.
Ooh,
with the beginning of last season,
so it was like 29.
With the best
2.9.
switched to best 3 over time, and we saw a lot of people race very quickly to Master, and
I got there pretty quick.
Led to a position where a lot of people were trying really hard to get to Grandmaster rank at the end of the season, but so many people were so close. It kind of created a big wall for everybody to get through. So now we have a bigger target for it. So once you get the Master, you will feel you earned that rank to get there, and it will be much more, not only much more satisfying, but also make it easier once we get up to that Grandmaster rank to be able to see people fluctuate. And if you are Master 1 or higher, so Grandmaster or Master 1, you will have an active decay if you not play for a bit. So RP will decay for inactivity, so you can't just go all the way to number 1 and hold that position.
You have to defend your title.
Yes.
If you're gonna fight for it,
Makes
you gotta keep
sense.
fighting for it. There are
I don't
gonna
know
be
how I
people
feel about
challenging
that.
you. You
I
gotta
like
defend the
it.
belt.
So that people can't just
a lot of
leave.
big changes.
So you gotta
And,
constantly be
remember,
playing.
Keep an eye out for all of the updates that we do as we go along. And if you have any feedback, of course, we're always willing and ready to
This is good for
listen to
people who are
stuff.
always trying to climb, and somebody who just gets to the highest point and
We're
doesn't
super
play
excited
again.
about that.
Makes
But that,
sense.
of course, is not the only thing. We have a lot.
It's a big
lot
season.
more
It's
to
a
discuss.
whole new season.
Okay.
We've got the new characters.
Nothing changed
we've
the
got a new battle
Grandmaster, at
pass,
least.
We've got new events. We've got
Which is the Rowdy Rough Boys.
But that means that there's 69 other tiers to discuss.
There are. That first one, of course, will be the Powerpuff Girls. But before we pull
Okay,
up
so
the
they
screen,
are
I
the
just have
Battle
to
Pass
say,
character?
We do pay close attention to the requests for skins. We do see that often. We like to ask about that as well. And there's a certain there is one of those.
Emil Svensson, during the stream, we see you in chat, Emil Svensson. You asked for a certain skin.
Yeah, the one true Rick Sanchez, which is Rick Prime. That is your first
Rick Prime's in
10th
there?
tier skin. For
Oh,
the Battle Pass, Rick
wow.
Prime will be in the Battle Pass.
What was that?
Rick and
The
Morty
last season of Rick and Morty?
Prime. For all, all the Rick
Okay,
and
first
Morty
tier
fans
looking
love that.
alright.
That is not the only
That
one. We
Harley
have a
icon's
lot
cool.
More.
But wait, there's more.
There's more, which some of you, of course, did see the mystery.
Oh, they got
incorporated
the Velma
Velma,
outfit from that one
was
racer movie.
in the public service announcement trailer.
A classic skin, and there's something familiar about it. I feel like we'll probably be touching on later. I'm not sure.
Check, you
Think
probably
of
don't get
something
a
that you
very
would
similar
even-
skin to it.
You know, we don't have to touch on that. We can
Yeah.
just scroll on right by that. But
And IRL Norbert, how are you doing, sir?
okay, well,
Of course, that is not all. We have brand new taunts coming in for LeBron.
his
he signed a basketball?
signature.
Down in the dumps, of course. And another one that's asked for quite a bit. I know that the Garnet players are staring at it. Maybe I'll press right. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We got the training Garnet, which will also be joining.
Okay.
We love a good hot girl summer skin, you know? Sun's out, guns out.
God damn it, I hate these two.
I should have went over to the exclamation point for that. Of course, the one true weakness of the Rowdy Rough Boys.
Oh, that's cool.
Which will make them disappear. And everybody's new favorite ring out. I cannot wait.
They got a.
This is gonna be everywhere.
I am so happy.
They got a salt emo as a ring out. Oh, people. Hold on, wait a minute.
It's
so
that Tom one next to the Alf.
Tier 33 by day
Fire.
one.
You see, it's called the touch of salt, but I feel like we're gonna start with a touch and we're gonna end with a mountain. You know, there's no world in which this stays just a touch
That's
of
a
salt.
sick profile icon. I want that one.
The entire time I've been reviewing the Battle Pass lately, I did not realize we added this art from the iconic scene. So new profile pic, legendary profile pic.
You can hear his laugh looking.
You really can hear that shit if you watch that episode.
Our team is just phenomenal, and
that's a high render of him too. Kind of crazy.
With Tom and Jerry, because we also got the Karate Chaos Tom and Jerry skin. This is actually my personal favorite one.
I don't know where this one's from.
I'm a big fan of this one. It's gonna be hard for me to not use one for about a month.
They may be martial arts masters, but they still use their weapons.
One here.
I'm so excited about this skin.
Oh yeah, this Arya skin.
Yeah. You know, Arya's gotten a lot of really cool, unique skins recently, which have been just phenomenal over and over again. But one that came directly from the show. We're not going to talk too much about the reason why she is this way from the show, because it's a very important key point. Just know that at this point, Arya's life kind of sucks a little bit at this point. It's
but at least she's with friends. At least she's with friends.
Well,
but
temporarily.
Look, that's all of Game of Thrones, okay? We don't.
Yeah, much like Game of Thrones, also you can never truly trust Arya. As you can see, she's always plotting something.
Oh wow, she got a bow.
One of my new favorite ring outs as well. Get the W worm. It's
worm,
dragon.
basically.
This one I don't
that's a
really
cool little
swap
emote.
off of.
Or not emote, ring out.
The Batwing ring out often, but this one I'm for sure
going to
use.
It's the flames. It's how high the flames rise. It almost feels like you're condemning them to death and you're with your ring out.
It's fire. And
literally
with that I leave. Now, of course, the Justice Lord Black Adam, which is another skin that will be joining. Unique
that's an interesting skin.
This one is really cool.
I don't know what that's from.
It takes less sun heat. You can cool down now. It reflects the sun.
It do be hot in Condok, yes. Now, the last tier, of course, everybody is very aware of the Rowdy Rough Boys, which will be our
okay, so they have
skin.
all of the
and of course,
profile pics for the Rowdy Rough Boys and the
freaking chainsaw for a sword.
You know,
that's a chainsaw. I never knew that was a chainsaw.
Demigod, a chainsaw.
I don't know, but we're big fans of the death metal comics around here, and of course, you got the coloring emote, which a lot of you got to see in the trailer as well. But that is, of course, not all we have for content to show off. Tonight's Death Metal Batman, which will also be joining. It's got spikes on the shoulders. This one's just cool.
Hold on,
it's
now, that's a sick Batman.
I don't really know how else to put it. And, well, Superman players, they just got the Cyber skin a little while ago. Well, congrats. You got a new one. Anti-Life Superman.
What the fuck?
This, I don't really see a world where I don't see all the Superman switching over to this.
Yeah, nah, that's a sick-ass skin, bro.
One true Anti-Life Superman.
Especially with the one rock arm.
Superman's got some pretty banging skins already. Like, I feel at this point, now you're starting to see just a variety of Supermans all
in fact, someone's gonna rock the all gold one. Someone's gonna rock this one.
It's only gonna get better, too. We have the announcer pack for the Rowdy Rough
Gotta buy that one.
Prestige store as well. And one of my new favorite banners, the Bulletproof.
Oh, that's kind of sick now, bro.
See, the bullets flying off. This one, I don't know how I switch off for a while.
Those eyes are such a sick effect.
Yeah,
they're so cool.
It's.
Are those the only new skins? Because I didn't see any like other new ones besides that Superman and the Batman one.
And then Righteous Anger.
Yeah, those are the only two skins, so we don't get three like the previous season.
Prestige skins. So that's a lot of the new 1989 that will be joining the game as well. This one is probably the most
action figure looking skin
that we have seen yet. It feels almost like out of place of how good it looks.
The detail's incredible. You can see just all of the different details on his suit and like the way that it fits. It's incredible.
Yeah, I just always think that's a sick effect that like he closed the cape and everything turns jet black. I like that effect.
Batman 1989, phenomenal film. But there also happens to be a celebration event coming up pretty soon, which is the Batman 85th anniversary. Our man.
Hold on, that artwork is sick.
He's so old.
Why is he so old?
Who are you?
So that's gonna be an event in the game.
So we got
Okay.
Batman Celebration, which of course you approach a lot easier with aerials. You can move a little bit easier.
Okay, talk about combat changes.
Is because we have done a pretty big overhaul to the way that works. And when I say pretty big, I mean pretty much every single character in the game has been changed in some way or another.
Ooh.
So,
okay, that's what I like to hear.
We have a couple videos to show off that first. Let's go ahead and pull up the first one with Agent Smith. The visuals kind of give it to you straightforward. Before you would get clamped in the air, as you tried to go for certain
dodge
moves, it was
down
ways to
special
help
or
position and
down
line
attack
things up.
moves way
But we
further.
realized that that was slowing down the way that you could approach in the air, and it led to a lot of grounded-based jabs, a lot of grounded-based attacks, because there's no way to start anything in the air.
You don't maintain your momentum. It didn't feel fluid.
Yeah, and now that we have now what we have done is we have basically adjusted the movement speed or the clamps on a lot of aerial based moves, so you're going to be moving faster in the air with or without dodge boosting. But dodge boosting, as you can see, you're moving a couple square units even further than you were before, and it's not just of course on them. You can see that on charge based aerials too. So charge moves, you stop in position normally no matter what. But with this new change, you could actually approach with charge-based aerials too. So this isn't
you still glide forward with it. Okay.
Rain Dog, who have the charged aerials.
That's good for getting in, and especially if you're trying to promote air more. This is a good way to do air
It'll also make it more
combos.
natural as you're trying to anticipate movement. You're trying to get that spike off the edge of the map. You're able to.
Wait, hold on. Will this work with Bugs Bunny's hammer? Because if it will, hold on.
And it will also create brand new combo routes, because there are some combos you
I might have to try
reach
some shit
with some of those aerials. And also, speaking of that, we have done that to other characters too, such as Garnet. You were able to fall faster with the down air. And something that we've done to multiple characters as we move to the other clip for Garnet here, there is improved grounded-based combo routes too. Big thing is, since we've added the tech-based system, we've been able to improve on how many different ground bounces we can add. So if you switch over to the next one here, you have, for one, Garnet players might notice we have added armor to the down attack.
That was 2 ground bounces.
Charge it. But also, the grounded downward hit will ground
Oh,
bounce
no, it
more
wasn't.
often. It would only
It
work if
launched
somebody
them full.
DI'd downward before. So now you can line up more combos there.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to open up people. And there are a lot of other characters who have received that same treatment. I'm going to go over a few of them individually because they have so many changes after this. And aerials also have some new ground bounce based setups. So for characters like Jake, we added in that unique input. A lot of people asked if we'd ever rework characters to do unique things. You had the input for neutral special, which now you could do guaranteed at certain percent windows to get the follow-up off of ground bounce. But you don't always have to do that. You can land with Nair now and get a jab follow-up, get a down attack follow-up, get an up attack, anything you'd like to try to look for. So now you have different ways to actually approach in the air. You don't have to always stare somebody down who is over on the other side of the screen trying to hide behind a strong defensive-based option like a disjointed jab or anything like that. You can now approach over them quickly. And something super important is we have improved branch windows on some characters.
Okay, Banana Guard, he actually comboed off that move now. Because that shit was fucking, that was not possible to do before.
And aerial side special, grounded base moves were all pretty much fail options. So for characters
I might have to pick Banana Guard back up, start going back in the mix with him.
we have improved on that. It's not just Banana Guard. Like I said, when a lot of characters have changes, we mean a lot of characters have changes.
This is really meant to be kind of a cross-the-board quality of life improvement.
Yep.
This is supposed to feel better. This is supposed to basically allow you to the characters act the way that you anticipate them to act.
Yeah. Some characters were struggling as well to kind of output the same damage as what some of the higher characters were aiming for. And for the higher tier characters, we did kind of normalize a few of the things that they were doing compared to others, but we also brought basically everybody up to where they are.
Okay, so they said they did touch the high tiers, but also bring everybody up. I like that.
A lot of very difficult matchups overall. We have brought them up. So
we apologize to the tier list makers. You have a lot of work to do.
For all of the YouTube guide folk out there, get ready, because you have a lot of new ones you need to make. Anybody who you were playing before has essentially changed in some way, shape, or form. And one of the really commonly asked questions for a lot of people was, would you ever rework moves? Would you ever add new moves? And the answer to that before has been yes, and we just didn't have anything to show. Well, now we do. Let's go ahead and pull up exactly what we have done to Batman. So, Batman. Okay. For one, again, happy birthday, Batman. Batman is one of those characters where basically the whole game plan kind of became 1 to 2 goals only. use dash attack or use dive kick. And we had to do a few things to be able to make sure that those were contestable options. But doing that also led to a lot of situations where Batmans were only able to approach in very specific ways, made them campier, and you would end up utilizing things like the jab jab IAD side air, which was a loop that was a little unhealthy to play against.
Almost all of his ring outs were either kicks or spiking up towards the top of the
mat. And trying to set up bombs or utilizing early KOs or grapple hook. And we wanted to make sure that the skill gap wasn't so large between the average player to try and pick Batman up, super popular character, and people who played at the high end who were doing everything they could to expand on his combo game. And this is, again, not just Batman that we have done this with. But for Batman, you have a brand new dash attack called Bam Pow. This is a double punching dash attack that is an armor breaker that will also ground bounce, but over a higher percent will send them further out. This allows people to land with things such as side air, because it was very hard to get a side air follow-up.
Hold on.
Pro chops with a side air to get a grounded hit. Thank you, Shaggy, for kicking me in the face. And for people who are wondering, well, where's the slide? Well, the slide is now on down tilt. But what happened to the other kick?
Down tilt?
What happened to his armored kick? Well, now it's an active input. So when you use down attack and you input it again, you were able to go into the old sweep. And you were able to do different combo routes. We did remove the ability to do IAD out of the jab too, because it was leading to a loop. However, we did expand on the ways to do combos out of this. So you have the ability to do follow-ups, things like that. You can also use this for bat bomb setups. You have the ability to go for the second input and follow up into a sider, which I completely missed. You could use it to set up into grapple hook. And we also did a couple tunings to a couple of the other moves of his as well, so it'll be a little bit more consistent. This is something that has happened to everyone as well. On cooldown based attacks, thank you for coming directly back to me. This is always the funniest thing to try to get rid of Batarang on purpose. Don't hit me. Go away. Go away. Okay. So, on cooldown based attacks by nature were weaker because the idea was to not make it so you just get rid of them and use it. However, we got to a point where we ended up having moves that were a little bit too weak by comparison, and then you had characters like Bugs Bunny and Garnet who had moves that were very strong in that. Outside of the on cooldown clap from Garnet, which now will consistently always pull someone in when you're using the up special clap, which is something that was asked for quite a bit. The on cooldown versions of these moves have utility. So you have things like the punch, which will now ground bounce. So you can use that not only as a grounded option, but a landing option as well to get new follow-ups. This is something that we see with Bite, the bite on Stripe. For the Saw Blade cooldown as well. So we want to expand a bunch of different ways to make sure that people have different approaches to get in through the air.
You're not just spamming a button and nothing's happening and you hear that dinging.
Yeah,
you still have the option to kind of make those combos. And now Batman feels a little bit more like the martial artist.
Batman
always,
all the way up.
Intended to be.
LeBron James was
LeBron's
someone
back.
who
LeBron James.
Can't go a whole episode without it. LeBron James was like the epitome of on cooldown. Everything about without the basketball was basically a move that didn't really lead to much outside of side air, which we buffed not that long ago to make it easier to get an approach and get a follow-up off of. But everything else was not the greatest to be able to get in with. Now, you have one of the biggest changes to this character. His down air always had to be particularly hit in a certain spot in order to get a proper spike. That is not the case anymore. They will always spike. So there is no more sour spot on the down air. We have completely removed that. There is only a spike hitbox. So every time
spike is a spike is a spike is a spike.
Yep. So if you're trying to go for a basketball into down air, as you can see, the dodge boosted movement allows you to get a little bit easier. You get a follow up, and you could go for tech chase reads on that. Go for whatever you want to afterwards. There's a lot of new ways to approach it with LeBron. That's not the only thing, of course. We sped up basically everything. So the unarmed jab is faster. The slap can now instantly be buffered into a jump. So you get a guaranteed down attack into up air. So that is a new KO confirmed for LeBron. There is also a couple new ground bounce routes we added as well. We were talking a lot about how every character has new routes. The down attack will now ground bounce again. So you could use that.
There's a lot of ground bouncing going on this patch. In general, the ground was not being utilized enough.
Yes. Basically, everybody. We talked a lot about how get ready to read. There is a lot of characters who have received new combo routes.
I wonder what's going to be like now with the way that
is the theme of this patch.
automatic taking is. I wonder if they're going to have to change that, because now with more ground bounces, it's going to be more accidental potentially to get that second bounce.
That is not only the thing we're looking at too. Coming in future patches, we could be looking at some changes to dodges to make them less powerful overall. It's very important with dodging on the ground, because you could act pretty instantly after you do one. We're looking at ways to tune that and change that. And there's a few more that will be discussed as they happen later, but we are paying close attention to all of these things. We want to make sure that we have that. So again, we talked about it before. For everybody who is getting some newer perks, some new looks at them.
Finally, new
perks.
perks.
Get on that. But we are looking into the perks to also be changed alongside those dot changes later on. And it's not just that, of course. We also have some improvements overall to the game that we've been looking at. So a lot of people have been asking about mini games and how they operate and what they do. Well, we're looking into adding unique queue in the near future.
Yeah, because they said that on Twitter.
Mini games in them, amongst other things. So we're really looking forward to getting that in there.
Essentially a silly queue, basically.
About that. There's also going to be mutators for custom games coming into the near future. So mutators that you see in Rifts, you'll be able to do unique matches. So if you want to,
people are asking for that.
Have everybody be fast, have everybody have slows, whatever you want. So all of the mutators we have, we're looking into adding ones that will work and make sense towards the custom games. And the lab, like we mentioned before, it's got the new hit stun counter. The lab is receiving a overhaul in general with the UI, which will be coming in the near future. So we're really looking forward to that one. We've heard a lot of feedback of how the difficulty it is to set up certain specific situations in the lab and how you do that. Well, we'll be adding different DI directions for the bot and a lot of other things. So that way, when you go to set up what you're trying to lab, you will be able to do exactly what you're looking for.
You'll be able to practice, you'll be able to spend time outside of your normal matches doing fun, different things that you want to try, experiment with, whether that's in the lab or in these other special modes. We really want to give you guys plenty of options to play with.
Yes. So,
Little baby, you out, you know you was wrong. You lying, watch your tone. I'm too fine to be so alone.